A dystopia is a fictional society usually portrayed as existing in a future time when the conditions of life are extremely bad due to depression, oppression, or terror. It is a community or society that is undesirable or frightening and is in great suffering. It is translated to not a good place and is the opposite of a utopia. Science fictions are the main type of genre that has dystopias. They're usually after an apocalypse when the world is struggling to stay alive and are based in the future. They are often written as warnings showing how events in our everyday life could affect the future to become like the dystopias we read about. Both characters had most of the same feelings towards the upper class. They both had a strong dislike towards them. Harrison wanted to rule the upper class, but John just didn't like it. John didn't want to leave and did not want to be a part of the society. Harrison tried to overrule the upper class so he can control, and John adapted by going crazy and living in isolation. Harrison adapted by taking control. John failed because he felt super sad about his mom passing and hated the society, so he took his own life. Harrison failed because the upper class acted upon him and killed him. In the end, they both were dead and failed when what they were trying to accomplish. In both novels, there is a fictional state figurehead that both people worship. In Brave New World, it is Henry Ford, and in Harrison Bergeron, it was the handicapper. Although they didn't really worship her, they just looked up to her as her master and the figurehead. In Brave New World, everything is revolved around Henry Ford. Their quote-unquote cross is an uppercase T for the Model T, and they act like he is their god in society. The handicapper controls everything and is the top dog in Harrison Bergeron. They look at her like she is God, and they know she controls everything. Harrison wanted to be the figurehead, but sadly failed and he was shot. John, on the other hand, didn't really care to be in charge, he just wanted out of the world state. In Harrison Bergeron, they try to make everyone the same. No classes you're born into, and no individuality. The smarter people have to wear earphones to make them forget things, and it rings every 20 seconds, and the pretty people have to wear masks so people can't see their real faces. In Brave New World, there's a caste system, and in those classes, everyone is the same, and if you step outside the law and have a little bit of individuality, then you get punished, so there's no being different. Harrison is different in a way that he is very big, smart, and they call him a danger to society. John is different because he's from the Savage Reservation, and their way of life is a lot different than the one on the world state. He believes in parents, and he also believes everyone should have feelings other than happiness. In Brave New World, the government puts people into classes when they're born and gives them jobs based on that class. However, in Harrison Bergeron, there's a government that tries and makes everyone the same, and it makes smarter people equal to the less smart people. In Brave New World, John doesn't like the government because of how they control people, and also his mother died from soma, a drug that the government used to make people happy. So he naturally has a hatred for it. Harrison was put in jail by the government, so when he broke out, he tried to take over and be the handicapper, but eventually he tried and died. I think Harrison was more successful because he got farther in taking control than John, and he tried harder to get it, so with these things combined, he was more successful. He set an example of what being different is and going against the government, but John just shows what being different is and never really tried to go against the government. Place can affect literature by how the people in the setting talk, act, and how the place is governed. Place affects how the people in the book or novel talk and act by the part of the world they are from and how they were raised. For example, someone from the Savage Reservation would be super different from someone in the world state. Place also affects how the society works and how the place is governed by different places with different governments, so they differ from every place. Overall, Harrison and John were both the same. They both had the same morals, and they both hated the upper class governing them. They both tried and they both failed, but at the end of the day, they were both different, and without them, these stories wouldn't be dystopias.